3.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew, live on Brew Sports, a Wednesday edition of the program. And my goodness, is it a great day to be alive, to say the least. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. But more importantly, Jaymee, tomorrow, I know you're not really a huge Star Wars fan, but tomorrow's May the 4th be with you. For those Star Wars nerds out there, I know a lot of you are really excited about that. But more importantly, for what you probably do care about, Cinco de Mayo is on Friday. You're going to have the alcohol, the tacos, the taquitos, the anything with the Ias and the Ios and the yummies and all that good stuff. It's an exciting time, to say the least. Chips, salsa, guac, everything you need. Just another excuse to drink.
I'm a big guac fan.
Big guac fan? Do you make your own guac, or you just
I
do you
do.
have a specific thing?
I don't typically like avocados, like not
Oh,
especially not by
interesting.
themselves, but I do like guacamole and chips.
Oh, wow. Okay. Guacamole and chips.
Because then it doesn't just taste like.
What was that? What? Lach.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Fair enough. Well, I'm sure you have lots of exciting reasons to be alive today, Jaymee, as many people do. But more importantly, Nashville Predators winning Game 3 last night. Or Game 4, rather. They're up. They've got 3 games to 1 over St. Louis in a very exciting time. But we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in just a little bit. But we do want to remind all of you that we are broadcasting live here on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Spreaker.com this morning. A very good morning to all of you. We've got some great questions of the day coming at you today. The big question, first and foremost, is how do you think Jaymee should celebrate if Nashville wins the Stanley Cup? I think that's one question that I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with. The other good question today is, and we've talked about this a lot, is Mario Kart the greatest of all time, or the GOAT, as people like to call it? Because people, like somehow, some way, when you start to have the Mario Kart conversation with people get real fired up.
Right.
And they just start throwing blue shells, and it gets real nasty up in here. So those are the 2 questions of the day I feel like people need to help us figure out this morning. Liz, of course, chiming in right away. She says, guacamole, ole! So she's very excited. Cinco de Mayo is a very big thing that we celebrate in the Colburn household. We have
Will
Hispanic.
you guys be making tacos?
I hope so. Taco Friday, that's a thing, right?
It is when
When
falls
it's Cinco
on
de Mayo. Exactly. And the fact that Cinco de Mayo is on a Friday, I mean, people are going to be like getting lit probably as early as tonight, probably. Like, what? Not going to work on Friday, boss. It's ridiculous. But I'm glad that people can get excited about that. That's for sure. So it is the What's Brewing segment. We're going to be joined by Keith Haney and Dara Bittler a little bit later on in the program to talk about a whole host of different things. But very first and foremost this morning, it is the What's Brewing segment. Jaymee, you got something to lead off for us this morning. What do you got?
I do. I think we should talk about how Sidney Crosby is. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but he is out for Game 4. As we all know, Baxter loves in the hockey world that they tell you it's just an upper body injury, lower body injury.
Upper body injury. Mm-hmm.
And they came out and said he has a concussion. So Sidney Crosby will be sitting out Game 4.
I wonder how, that had to have taken a lot for the NHL to actually be like, we're going to actually tell people what's wrong with him.
I think they usually do it when it's a concussion. But if it's like a broken hand or a finger or a kneecap or whatever, then they usually keep their
broken
mouth shut.
Kneecap. No, thank you. No. Cannot even imagine. I've broken my wrist and I've broken my ankle. I can't even imagine breaking a kneecap or a femur or any of that. I've broken my arm, I guess, too.
I heard that the femur is the first, most painful thing a person can go through, and then childbirth is
That's
the
what
second.
I've also heard,
Okay.
yeah. Now, I guess I don't know. I've never met someone that's
Both.
broken a femur and also given childbirth. I know that there are people out there, obviously, because how else would you have been able to make such a comparison?
Yeah.
I mean, if a guy breaks his femur, how's he supposed to know it hurts like childbirth? You don't know. You never pushed a baby out.
Some badass chick has.
Seriously. All right, come at me kind of a thing. So, I mean, more power to those people, that's for sure. But, good for them, I guess. So, Sidney Crosby out Game 4 with a concussion. We'll see how that plays into an effect for the Penguins moving forward. It's still a very close series. There still is a lot that can be kind of decided in this one. But this is one of the big series people are watching.
Yeah, and I think the Penguins will be okay. When I believe they were down 2-0 before Crosby got hurt, and then came up 2-2, and then lost in overtime. But Crosby was out at the beginning of the third period, so I don't know.
They were able to rally.
I think they'll be okay. It'll be good for them. They'll be able to see if they can move on without their star guy.
The star guy. And I think, too, and I mentioned this yesterday, the underwhelming press on a guy like Evgeny Malkin as well, too. I'm excited to see what he can do now, being more of that focal point for the Pens offense to kind of power them through without Crosby. So looking forward to it. Chuck wants to know, how many concussions is this for Crosby now? It's an alarming amount. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's he's got to be getting up there. The fact that once you get that second concussion, people usually start playing the, oh boy, like the times are ticking away now. Let's see what's going to happen moving here on out. So hopefully Crosby recovers soon, but I don't know if you were able to find an official number on Crosby or not.
I
But
think I did, but it's loading.
my guess would probably be like 4 or 5. Is that too high? I don't know. Or is that not high enough?
Let's see. It's 1 in 2011.
Goodness.
2 in 2011.
2.
Oh boy, this is a terrible article.
Man, oh man, I just need like a number. Like, I'm not asking for I don't need a full breakdown of every single time the rotation of the sun and what the Dow Jones was at that time. I just need to know how many concussions.
He had a broken jaw at one point.
Does that count as a concussion if you break your jaw? I don't think that counts. I'm not sure.
I'll report back in a minute.
Please do. Anyway, aside from that, from the What's Brewing, if you haven't heard, for those of you that are big Beyonce fans, she's releasing a full collector's edition of the How to Make Lemonade box set. It features Beyonce's personal writing, some unreleased photos, and more. You can buy this for a cool $300. I'll be honest, when I first heard about this, I was like, oh, Beyonce's going to just release a little thing about how to make Beyonce's own lemonade. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then I actually, read everything. I'm like, oh, it's just pictures, and it has nothing to do with drinking lemonade. I was rather disappointed. I'm not going to lie.
Queen Bee can do whatever she wants, I guess.
She can.
Sell whatever she wants.
$300, though, includes the album on vinyl and a 600-page book and much more. Does that seem a bit much, though? $300 for something like this?
Yeah.
It's full color, though, so I guess that makes up for a little bit of it, but still.
So let's see. If you have, it says the To Make Lemonade box set gives insight into making the multiple award-winning lemonade with a numbered collector's edition coffee table book, a vinyl, and audio and visual album downloads.
How many people have a coffee table that they actually use? That's the real question. I mean, that's great for magazines and all that fun business,
Your
but
feet.
Right, exactly. I don't leave if my grandparents are coming over to the house, I'm not going to have my Beyonce lemonade book on the coffee table.
Granny
I'm going to go get Good Housekeeping or, Made in America or whatever, some non thing with Beyonce. But what's this rubbish?
When you're Queen Bee, though, you can do whatever you want.
That's true. She's still pregnant too, isn't she?
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong about that, but she is. Yeah, she showed up to the Met Gala and all that fun business as well too. Josh says, very simple. Lemon, water, and some sugar. I'll put it in a box, sell it for $5. I like it, Josh. I'm all about it. I mean, I had a lemonade stand when I was a kid in Florida. It's not that uncommon. I had a coffee stand for a little while too during a hurricane. I mean, whatever you got to do to fire people up and make that a little extra cash.
I bought a smoothie off a kid at their smoothie stand last summer, and it was terrible. And I even got the large. It was awful. I'll never do it again.
Did you give him a 1-star on Yelp, or what'd you do? Little Jimmy's smoothie stand?
Well, we drove past first, and I was like, we should stop. So we stopped, and then I grabbed a smoothie. I don't even really like smoothies because I'm not a big berry fan.
Right.
So I think it was a strawberry.
How much do you judge the kids
crap.
based off of how cute they are? Before you even consider buying anything, you see two good-looking little 8-year-olds on the side, and you're like, all right, you got my attention at least with the cuteness.
Yeah.
And then like you said, if the smoothie's not good or whatever you're buying, you're like,
yeah, I was probably
it's crap. Get
right.
the hell out of here.
I was upset that it tasted bad, but I was probably super creepy because I just rolled my window down and I was like, hey, I'll take a large, strawberry. And they sit back at the table and I was like, bring it up to the car. So they probably thought
that's that's 101 as a kid is don't go up to a stranger in a car,
yeah,
even if they're offering.
They probably spit in it, but
probably did. How much did you pay for this large smoothie?
I think it was $4.50.
Good God.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Jeepers! What kind of a regime are these kids running? This is ridiculous.
$4.50.
I mean, that was you could go get psychiatric help in the Peanuts cartoons for 25 cents. I mean, or 5 cents. Not even, if you wanted to. The fact you're paying $4.50 for a smoothie.
Yeah,
I
don't think that they have a long-term plan with this smoothie making because it tastes like crap. But if they want to make a quick buck, get out of Dodge. And you never see a smoothie stand. You always see lemonade.
That's right.
So
lemonade. Did you ever see the Geico commercial where Ice-T is sitting behind the kid selling a lemonade stand, and people are walking by like iced tea, and the sign, and the guy's like lemonade, and like I didn't get it at first because I'm like, who? Like I was like, what are they like? Are people
Did not
idiots?
see that.
And it took my 13-year-old brother to like, no, that dude, that is iced tea. I
Oh,
was
Baxter. Is he in public school?
like, no, he's homeschooled. But he knew he's more educated than I am when it comes
Is
to
this
some
the
of
one
this
with the
stuff.
YouTube video?
Yes. My brother has a YouTube channel. Shout out
It's
to
so funny.
shout out to
It's so cute.
ZHD03 for all my YouTubers out there. Go check him out.
It's
If you love
adorable.
Nerf battles and just
Nerf
poor
bat.
editing and ridiculous
wears
camera
these-
angles.
These cute glasses. Oh, he's adorable.
He is. He's super cute. I love it.
It's
He
funny.
probably doesn't want to hear that as a 13-year-old. But anyway, speaking of cute, that usually requires you to get into the dating world at some point, Jaymee. You're still looking for Mr. Right among numerous different things. We have found a couple of things that might help you.
Oh, great.
But to do such a thing, we need to bring in one of our baseball correspondents, Keith Haney, to help us figure out and describe this a little bit better. So first of all, we wish Keith Haney a good morning. How are you today, Keith?
Good morning, Baxter and Jaymee. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well.
Wonderful.
How's Felix?
Felix as well. Had to lock him in the bedroom. His name is actually Mr. Fuzzy Face.
Mr. Fuzzy Face.
Is Felix his stage name, or how did we like Mr. Fuzzy Face? Like I feel like we're fed false information here, Keith.
I think you just gave him the name Felix, and
I thought you gave us.
I
Where
don't
did I
know.
get Felix from?
I don't
then?
know. I would never say a cat's name wrong.
His name is Mr. Fuzzy Face.
Maybe you were embarrassed when he knocked over your camera,
Right,
so
you're
you
like,
just gave him
"Mr.
a
Felix.
like a basic cat name.
Yeah, it's Felix the
Yeah,
cat.
I couldn't give you guys his real information, right? It was embarrassing.
Exactly. Unbelievable. I mean, you've got Harold over there. Next thing you tell me is Mr. like Harry Fuzzy Pants or whatever
No,
instead of Harold.
It's Harold.
It is Harold.
It
Okay,
is.
there we go. All right, Keith. Well, first and foremost, we'll talk about baseball for real in just a moment. But I discovered something strange yesterday when I was perusing the interwebs, and maybe you probably have already known about this, but this was news to me. Apparently, you can sign up on MLB.com for Match.com and find singles at Major League Baseball games. And we've been on a hard charge to find Mr. Right for Jaymee, and I think this might be the next possible way for her to continue to do such a thing. You're down by Chicago. You're down by Wrigley Field. Have you heard anything about this or seen this in action at all?
I haven't, but at Wrigley Field, there are so many bars nearby. I can't imagine anybody has trouble finding another single in Wrigleyville there. But no, I haven't seen it in action at all. When I found out about it, that was the first time I heard about it as well. It's pretty interesting, right? You have these other websites for that I can get behind, like Farmers Only. Farmer. You're a farmer and you want to find another farmer. I get that, but
Pretty straightforward.
right. But for baseball fans, like for a first, second, third date or something, you think a guy could take a girl to a baseball game. Like, hey, I enjoy baseball. Would you like to go to a baseball game? Like, I think that's pretty common, right?
I don't know, Jaymee, is it?
Well, I would have to be asked on a date first, but
Step one.
I think that would like if you met on something that was like a soul, like we both have this interest, so we're gonna go on dates because of it. It would be more pressure. Like I would think I'd have to know way more than I already do.
Right.
And I would rather someone be like, hey, you like sporting events, I like sporting events, let's go to a Brewers game, rather than being like,
And be like, hey,
we both like.
we both are baseball fans. We met on baseballmatch.com. We
Right.
have to go to a baseball
So we're both
game.
probably socially awkward because we can't meet each other in public.
Yeah. I mean, but this is becoming the norm, though, too, isn't it now? Like, so many people, like, I very rarely meet people that actually have been dating the person they're with or married to the person they're with that didn't meet them online.
Right.
Both of my parents are remarried because they met their significant other online. I only met my wife because I actually socialized and actually went out in public. Like, holy cow, what a concept. Anyway.
You met her in a class, didn't you?
Yeah, I met her at a dance class.
Okay, that
I
doesn't
didn't meet
count
her. I didn't swipe on her.
as being like, seen her at the grocery store and being like, hey,
I didn't
girl,
swipe on her. Like, I
those are
had
some
to
nice
start a conversation. I had to
apples.
have game to get my wife, and I did. Took a while, but I made it happen, all right? That's irrelevant. Keith, how did you meet your wife?
I met her in college. I met her in class.
There you go.
In class, you guys have no social skills. You're just in class.
What do you mean we have no social skills?
Anybody can talk in class.
All right. So not in class. Like we took the same class, but I saw her from across the room. I'm like that one.
That one over there.
After class, and then I had to roll up on her after class.
Roll
like,
up.
in our at like the bar and grill that we had on campus, and that's kind of how we met. But classic. Just like go up, say like, hey, how's it going?
Hey, I like
That's all
you. I like your face.
I'd like to have furry babies with you in the future. Would that be fine? Furry Mr. Fuzz face babies with you? Like, I think that's a good first step.
I think that's terrible.
I can't imagine
Anyone
Keith
listening to Baxter.
rolling up on his wife and being like, hey, you and me, like, what's up kind of thing. Like, was she like super standoffish or like, was she all about that, Keith?
What's that?
I said, was she all about that life when you rolled up on her, or was she was like, get out of here, you weird person?
Oh, she was at me. Well, since I saw her, I'm like, hey, like you're in this class, right? How do you like it? And just kind of blossomed from there.
Blossom.
Blossomed.
See, Jaymee, having a conversation with a real person, not hiding behind a swiping account or plenty of fish or whatever.
I deleted my Tinder and my Bumble, so
Your Bumble.
it's the same thing as
What the hell
Tinder.
is Bumble?
But girls have to talk first. It's the
What?
same.
The girls have to talk first?
MLB basket.
Say that again?
So like since you deleted your Twitter, your whatever, your Bumble or whatever, so now you're putting all of your eggs in that MLB basket.
Yes.
You're really looking to find somebody in the MLB game.
Yes.
Not NHL. NHL doesn't have a service like this yet.
They're a little far behind. It's
A little
okay.
far behind. I mean, like, go to a hockey game and check somebody. That's the way to tell if you love them or not. I find it weird, but this is so much how society is nowadays, though. Like, people are so terrified to actually have a conversation in real life with an attractive person that they have to go through this intricate part. Like, why can't you just go to a ballpark and be a normal person? But isn't that's conceived as weird now, though? If a random guy came up to you, doesn't matter if he's good looking or not, be like, hey, you're nice. We're here at a baseball game. You want to get a drink? You'd be like, get out of here, Bob.
If he was not my type, I'd be like,
How do you know if he's your type or
Ooh.
not? From the visual test. If he's not 6 feet tall and doesn't look like a douche, you'll be like, next.
have you seen that? Sorry, this is off topic, but have you seen that like new meme of like that bird who's giving like the side eye?
I have not.
Is anybody?
No.
Keith, have you? No, never mind.
Side-eyed meme bird? No.
Anyways, it was like he's 6'2", but he's unemployed and like he's really mean, and then like it's the bird and it's like, but did you say he was 6'2"? That's me.
Yep, that's exactly how it is. Chuck says the Brewers do a singles night just once a year, though. It's probably, cities like Milwaukee, I guess. It's kind of hit or miss with that one. But Mitch says, it's true, Jaymee and I matched. Her account is gone now. Ooh, bummer on that one. You could have had something there, Jaymee.
He caught me.
Could have had something. All right, let's get away from the singles talk for a moment, and let's talk. You were at the Cubs game last night, Keith. A lot of swirling talk about if they can repeat. They've done a lot of great stuff thus far, but seeing them live and in person, what did you take away from Chicago, and what's the longevity of this Cubs franchise at the moment?
Well, they looked very powerful yesterday, but any team is going to do well. They won 8-3, by the way, against the Phillies. Any team is going to do well when you have guys like Bryant, Baez, and Schwarber hitting home runs. They got out to an early lead, and they were able to keep it. Lester got his first W yesterday, and everybody's saying that the Cubs have the ability to repeat. They certainly have all the tools that they had last year. They have great pitching. They have a great lineup, for that. Really 1 through 5. They have great bats in that order. So they're off to a decent start right now. I think you can't put too much stock in how a team does in April and May because you still have 100 games to go after that, but they're looking pretty solid so far.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, I think the fact that Chicago is it's hard for me to say this, but Chicago is actually good for Major League Baseball. Them continuing to be a successful franchise, I think, is good because it's sending a message to the rest of the league that you can be bad for a long time, but then you can rebound, and then you can ultimately show that you can put the pieces together again and be successful. So I think what Chicago has done thus far, I think, has been very good. There still obviously is a lot going on out there for certain people, but I think that going forward, that is something that I think the Cubs have the opportunity to be a good team for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and you have and it really comes down to the ownership as well, guys that are willing to put forth the effort to build a team on the field. They had ownership for so long that was really just looking to put fans in the stands. That was easy to do at Wrigley. So as long as the balance sheet, matched at the end of the year, they were good with that for such a long time. But the Ricketts, got a hold of the team and brought in Theo Epstein. So, and that's really the key, finding competent owners that know how to bring in talent to build a good team.
Switching gears just a little bit, we talked about this yesterday. Adam Jones said in Boston on Monday they were chanting racial slurs at him during the game. And reading up, CC Sabathia said that that was the only field he ever played at where the same thing occurred. Is this something that has been brought up before, or is it something new, or is it unexpected from Boston fans, or do we all just expect that they suck just as much as Chicago fans do?
I had the opportunity to go to Fenway last year for a game that was against the Yankees. So
oh wow,
maybe a little bit more of a hostile environment than most baseball games. The Yankees, they were in a bad way last year when they went to Fenway. But it's a rowdy group. It's the Red Sox in Boston. So not that there's any excuse for that type of behavior, but this might be unfair. But if you were to expect anything like that at any stadium, it'd probably be Boston or New York. Just but if you're dealing with the Red Sox or the Yankees, just kind of based on that the mentality they have towards the opposing teams of whoever they're playing. But that being said, he got a great reception yesterday as he walked up to the plate. He got a round of applause. People, showing that that's a very select few people, that make up a huge fan base, and it's not fair to judge an entire fan base based on the actions of a few probably drunk individuals.
Well, this is the big thing with me, though, for the fact that they gave him this standing ovation. People are trying to sweep this under the rug now, saying, like, okay, like, they acknowledged him. They said that they were sorry. We're moving on. We're on to the next opponent, whatever. This is going to keep happening until the Red Sox actually come out and put more of an actual stomp on it. I mean, I understand, they sent him a letter. Oh, that's very nice. I remember when a letter actually meant something. Unless the Red Sox players themselves, who actually have way more pull than the team does, come out and actually start speaking against the racial chants, the Red Sox fans care more about what their players do than what the organization does. Like if Green Bay came out and said, we will not support racist, whatever, but if Aaron Rodgers came out and said, I'm not going to stand for it, Packer fans are going to listen more to Aaron Rodgers than Ted Thompson or whoever, because they care more about what the players think than what the organization thinks. So I think that Boston needs to have its players step outside a little bit more and actually take a bit more of a stand, in all honesty. I hope they do, because I think something like this is absolutely unacceptable. And it's 2017, for goodness sakes. This isn't the 1920s or earlier when there was all these racial chants, or God forbid, even when slavery was going on. Like, that makes obviously a little bit more sense at that point, because but this is 2017. African Americans, there was an African American president, they hold high office and numerous different things. We shouldn't be having these racial chants at this point. It's just completely unacceptable.
I agree.
All right, Keith, we got to let you run. Before we do, we are asking 2 questions of the day. You got to help us answer them. How do you think Jaymee should celebrate if Nashville is lucky enough to win the Stanley Cup? And is Mario Kart the greatest game of all time? Your thoughts briefly about both of those.
Well, if Nashville wins the Stanley Cup, I think you have to celebrate however you think they would. However they would in Nashville. You got to go to Nashville. You got to go to Tootsie. You got to listen to some country music and drink whatever local beer they got out of the Stanley Cup if you're lucky enough. And for Mario Kart, definitely. But you're walking a fine line when you say Mario Kart. Are you talking Super Nintendo Mario Kart or Mario Kart 64? But either way, that whole franchise, yes, that is probably the greatest video game franchise of all time.
Okay, there you go. I appreciate it, Keith. Where can people find you on social media, sir?
Very simple. My name, Keith Haney, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And I also have a YouTube channel as well. So me and your brother have something in common there.
Phenomenal, Keith. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Keith. We'll talk to you soon, sir.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Not you as well, too. I love it. Maybe they should guest appearance. Have a guest appearance on each other's shows.
I hope he has another set of goggles for Keith.
I make fun of my brother because I love him. Is that's justifiable, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's justifiable. You can make fun of somebody if you love them.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I make fun of you.
Oh.
Because I love you.
Thanks, Bax.
A lot of love on the Morning Brew, that's for sure. Yeah, we are asking those questions, and Keith alluded to the YouTube bit as well too. Brew Sports is on YouTube as well. You can go to just search for Brew Sports on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel there. Catch all of our shows that way. We have broadcast live on there, on Facebook, and on Spreaker.com as well too. So numerous different ways to get at us, as the kids say.
Holler
Keith's
at
saying
you.
he's rolling up to his wife. The hell is that? My God. How would you like? What classifies rolling up? Like,
I
if
feel
you're
like it's a.
how does that work?
I don't know.
How do you roll up to
I actually
somebody?
almost feel like rolling up is like creepy. Like, hey, like
this
you're in
is-
line, get your chicken tenders at the local. What do you say, bar and grill?
Yeah, he's at the bar and grill.
And he's like, "Hi, Stephanie. I have you in my econ class."
Rolling up, yeah.
And she's like,
I
"Okay."
picture that more from a roll-up perspective. If I'm at like like a roller rink, like you roll up,
Oh, okay.
like kind of thing, or like like just
And like a quick stop.
yeah, like like look
Hello,
at him.
Stephanie.
Like,
I don't know
"Hello,
what her
Steph."
name is, but
I don't know.
I would assume it's
Mrs.
Stephanie.
Fuzzy Face or whatever.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Where did I get Felix from?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. It's a weird world that we live in, Jaymee. I don't understand what's going on. But I do want to briefly talk. I want to check at the comments here fast before we get on to anything else. Luis was saying that Mario Kart and Pokemon Stadium are his favorite games of all time.
Okay.
He also says The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, the Holy Trinity of video games are those three that he mentioned, apparently, in his opinion. I never played Legend of Zelda at all. I've heard it's phenomenal, but I mean, otherwise than
I
that.
played it. I
Did
used to
you?
make my brothers play it up into the point where you got to ride the horse, and then I would just ride the horse around.
Like, just let me ride the horse.
Yeah.
Whee!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse says Contra. That's another one, too. I've heard of Contra.
I've never heard of that.
I don't know. I heard there's a ban on it, though. Ha, Contra ban. Anyway. No? Okay. Anyway, wow, I'm just... It's a tough crowd today. Tough crowd. Real quickly, yesterday, if you didn't hear about this, Jamaal Charles signed a 1-year, $3.75 million contract with the Denver Broncos. He passed his physical. He's torn his ACL twice in the last 3 years. He's only played in 8 games. Yet the Denver Broncos thought that they would go on a limb and try to bring him in. We have one of our NFL correspondents, Dara Bittler, with us this morning. She's sideways for some reason, but I guess that maybe just makes the interview that much more interesting. There she goes. Now you're good. Now she's straight up and down. For some reason, Dara, you were sideways, and I was like, maybe she's Spider Woman, and she's just.
I actually flipped my phone horizontally like I was supposed to. Go figure.
No idea. But for some reason, you're completely fine now, Dara. So we'll roll with it this way. But the big news coming, of course, yesterday. You're very vocal about this on social media. You're a Chiefs fan. You lived in Kansas City. Now you're in Denver. Or you're in Colorado now working. So you're in Bronco Nation. What's been the buzz of the Bronco Nation thus far? Now that Jamaal Charles has saddled his horse and came to town.
Oh, the Broncos are so excited about it. All the players, all the fans. I've been kind of talking to some people in my newsroom this morning about it, and the consensus is, oh, this guy could help us get back to the Super Bowl, and this is an awesome thing, but I think they're crazy.
Well, that's the thing with this. I mean, this is a guy that has played literally 8 times in the last 3 years. How effective can you actually be with tearing your ACL twice?
I mean, that's what we had said a couple weeks ago. People were nervous. Adrian Peterson
Right.
hasn't really played a full season in a very long time. Is he really as good as they say? So I can totally understand.
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, honestly. So why if you're Denver, if you've got already another injury-ridden guy like C.J. Anderson on the roster, why take a chance on another injury risk? I feel like you're putting yourself in the hole more to try to potentially lose both of your running backs because they can't stay healthy.
Right. Well, he's kind of a low-risk guy right now. I mean, they didn't spend a lot of money to get him. 3.75, and that's not guaranteed. That's, with, I think, like, workouts and everything else. So, I mean, I think it's guaranteed, like, $900,000, and then if he makes the roster, 46-man, etc. So, I don't know how effective he really can be after being out for so long. He's, almost 31 years old, so he says that he's out to prove everyone. I was reading some stuff this morning, like, I'm out to prove everyone. I'm here. I'm back. And I'm going to have a comeback season for the ages. So, I don't know. I would sell that one. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. Honestly, you can talk the talk as much as you want, but when you have two ACLs that have just been shredded the last couple of years, I don't know how effective you're going to be. Honestly, that's what I worry about.
I like when people talk a big talk, and I don't know if I like it better when they succeed after talking a big talk or when they fail. Feeling kind of makes me feel a little fuzzy, like a cocky son of a gun.
Like, shut up. Okay, well, Dara, we got to ask you this. This has been the running thing this morning on the show. To step away from football, we were talking with one of our MLB correspondents, Keith Haney, before we had you on, about how you meet your significant others. There's something that MLB.com is doing that they have a partnership with Match.com. Did you and your husband meet in person, or did you have to swipe right on him to meet him?
Okay, see, I am way too old for that.
Can't be that old. Come on.
No, I met my husband before this whole Tinder and dating stuff came out. It wasn't really big. I've been married for, I guess, 3.5 years now, so I'm a little older, 27. We met in college.
How is everybody married that we've talked to this morning? What am I doing?
We're trying to send a message to you, Jaymee. Gotta settle down. I mean, now the real question is, Keith said that he rolled up on his wife to like meet her. I don't know we still haven't defined what rolling up means, but did your husband approach you, or did you approach your husband for the first time?
Well, it's kind of funny. We met with a group of our friends, and we both really liked each other. But he had a girlfriend, I had a boyfriend. So
classic.
Yeah, but it was a wait and see. It was like another year before we started dating, and then he slid into my DMs on Facebook.
Woo,
whoa!
Not too old for that.
We know that life, that's for sure. Interesting. So he sent you the old Facebook message like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you. You're cute. You talk about sports. You want to go on a date?" kind of thing.
Yeah, but our sports relationship is like a love-hate kind of thing.
Ooh.
See, he's a Broncos fan.
Oh, okay.
I spend more time watching sports than he does, but he is a diehard Broncos fan. So we kind of have to walk away from each other during the games. We cannot watch the Broncos-Chiefs game together. It's a nightmare.
Interesting. I just was curious. It's been a running thing this morning, so I just was curious because we're trying to. Jaymee has gone on record to say that she's deleted all of her dating swiping apps off of her phone or whatever device, and we're trying to help her find Mr. Right. And we thought maybe this MLB.com match thing may have been an option for her, but we've also been telling her that it's okay to just go and have a conversation with a real human being.
I am social. That's not the issue.
What is the issue, Jaymee?
I don't know.
Are you going to download this app?
All right, girl, I already had it. I've deleted it.
Phenomenal. All right, Dara, we got to let you run. We got to keep moving on, but we appreciate you stopping by briefly to give us your 2 cents on Jamaal Charles and the dating world as well, too. We know you work the third shift, so go get some sleep, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
No problem. You as well, too. There goes Dara Bittler this morning on the Morning Brew. I'm not trying to make it a bigger thing, but it's funny.
Just clicked that I realized she meant if I was going to use the MLB dating one, I'm going to go back on record and say no.
I was about to say.
Yeah, no, I thought she meant Tinder and Bumble. I was like, yeah, I said I
got rid of those.
But no, not going to try it.
Got rid of that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also, Crosby, 4 concussions.
4 concussions.
Yes.
4 concussions for Game 4. Perfect. People in the comments section are going all about that life for Contra. Apparently, Brew is offering up some cheat codes: up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. There you go. That's some weird secret language, apparently. Jesse also says, games that involve the power pad for the Nintendo NES were awesome too. That's too much before my time. I don't know enough about the power pad and any of that stuff for NES. I know the N64. I had a Game Boy Color. I had a Game Boy Advanced. But
is the power pack just a thing that clips on the bottom?
I think
of the
it gives you like the
controllers?
rumble.
Okay.
Like, oh, I feel like I'm, like when you shoot somebody or you get tackled, it's like, oh, I feel like I'm there. It's like, it's just something vibrating in your hands. Any other context, it's super weird, okay? Like, nobody purposely wants vibrations in their hands.
Right.
But it's rather strange. I don't understand that. Jesse says, isn't rolling up to something you do before you do a drive-by?
So that is the first thing I thought of. But then I was like, okay.
I mean, it's amazing what you can do.
He doesn't look like he does drive-bys. He does live in Chicago, though, so maybe. Louise says, Diddy Kong Racing, one of the most underrated video games. I am gonna back this 100% because
Diddy Kong Racing?
Yeah, so
Okay.
When I go to Nashville all the time, I stay with my best friend. She has a Nintendo 64, and I don't know, we were super hungover one day, so we were playing
Naturally.
Nintendo 64, and I was like, this is a stupid game, but we started playing it
Diddy
anyways,
Kong Racing.
and we played it for like forever. So 100%, I back you on the Diddy Kong.
I see. This is the thing. This is maybe my homeschool bit showing through a little bit. I played, like I said, I played all the backyard sports, but I also played the Lego games as well too. Lego soccer.
That was a thing when we were kids?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know. Crazy. Lego racing was amazing. I don't know if anybody played Lego Racers out there or not, but it was phenomenal. You could build your own car, then you competed in all these different Grand Prix or whatever. Loved it. I was also a big Star Fox fan as well. I don't know if you played Star Fox or not. That was an N64 game, all about that Star Fox life. Just because it was fun to fly through and shoot things with this weird, like, triangle-looking ship. It was weird.
Huh. Nope, I've never
The
even
Star
heard of
Wars
that.
games are fun, too. I know a lot of people are all about that life. Luis says that he's all about, that he totally agrees with you on that one. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this is one of the things that I sit here as a Brew Sports, director, and I'm like, we need a video games show. But at the same time, like, it doesn't have any context to the sports world, but I'm like, people play. It's something you play. So I feel like people would be all about that, just talk about video games for 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
You'd have to get these people away from their video games, so.
That's the thing.
talk.
We need to pull you away from one screen to come to the other screen so
Right.
that way you can be a part of our screen and talk about it. I get that. That makes sense to me. I mean, I'm all about that. Luis also says, my first FIFA was 98, always uses Roberto Carlos as center forward. Listen, I started with the Madden 98s, the NBA 98, the FIFA 98. I was all about all those lives, the horrific graphics. Absolutely the most fun that I've ever had, though. Like, looking back at the games now, and I'm just like, how do you even remotely play? It just doesn't, like, my mind can't process how awful the graphics really were and how we actually found it entertaining for such a long time. Jesse tells us, by the way, what the power pad is in the comments. He says the power pad was a mat that went on the ground and it plugged in like a controller, and it had two sides for player on player two, or for player one and player two, and it had like Olympic games like running and hurdles. So you would be in your living room running in front of a TV as fast as you can, and it was insane. You had to be there.
So basically, like, Wii
So
now.
what the Wii does now.
Yeah.
Esports is huge, bigger audience than ESPN. That is very true, bro.
Huh.
Yeah, so, I mean, so is the power pad, so is the Wii, the 20,
The
whatever, the
Wii
2000s.
OG.
The Wii, sorry, what?
Original?
Oh, it's like, what the heck is the Wii
original
OG?
The original Wii?
Now, you know me. I'm in a hard campaign to get a Wii for the studio. We need a Wii so we can play games like Wii Bowling, Wii Baseball, Wii everything. I don't know. The power pad sounds unique to me, but I mean, it seems like, I guess at that time, that was what she was. I mean, or even like the Just Dance like pads. Or, it wasn't Just Dance, it was Dance Dance Revolution.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what it was. We had to like arrow, right, stomp, spin around,
Yeah.
woo, kind of thing. People would freak out about that. They'd have tournaments about that. And then Wii's like, just hold a remote in your hand and swing it around as you do everything. That's all you really have to do. Like, you could literally not dance in Dance Dance Revolution. You just have to move the thing. Because all they care about is your hand placement with where the remote is. If you really wanted to.
In Just Dance?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where you had to, like, they, like, mocked your arms?
Well, that
was for Xbox, right?
Yeah, that's for
Kinect
Xbox.
or
But for
whatever?
Wii, though, you just literally have to have the remote in your hand.
Okay.
So as long as you're moving the remote where you see the person's hands moving,
Gotcha.
kind of thing, like, you got to just follow it along. That's all you got to do.
I saw that.
You're welcome. My God. Anyway, yeah, Jesse says, yes, the power pad was the OG of Wii. All about that life. So I think from what I've seen in some of the comments, though, a lot of folks are saying that Mario Kart is the greatest game of all time. And that's the thing. I'm not even just saying N64. I'm saying if you literally had to pick one game the rest of your life that you had to play, doesn't matter the console, doesn't matter the way you play it, I want them to put it on mobile. I really, really do, so that way I can actually play it again, because it's expensive to try to like buy an N64 and then buy the game again.
Yeah.
I definitely think Mario Kart gets my vote as the best game of all time.
I
personally.
also really liked the Mario Party, I think it was, where
That's-
you like
Yeah.
did the levels and then you played against each other. I used to really like that one.
There's like Mario Party like 37 now or
Yeah.
whatever. Like they keep just adding on different
Every
things.
time
I'm
they
like,
make a
how big
now-
of a party can you keep having, Mario?
Every time they make a now 57, they make a new.
How old do
Mario
you have to feel
Party.
every time like the new nows come out?
I know.
Just like, stop. I already know.
Oh.
Bruce says Super Mario Kart for life. And he also, Luis says, don't forget Mario Tennis. Listen, Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color satisfied me for many a year.
Those are the tiniest little discs ever.
The little cartridges,
In
you're
a-
saying?
in a Game Boy, in a
Game-
GameCube?
the Cube, yes.
Yeah,
no, the
yeah,
Game Boy
yeah.
Color is what I'm talking about. So like
Oh.
the Game Boys. You know what the Game Boys
That's
were?
what the tennis was on?
Well, that's what I played it on, at least with the
Ah.
Game Boy Color. Like literally thinking about how small that screen was. It's like half the screen of like your iPhone. Like you get like that much. You know, you get like this much to like play a game on. You're just like, what's going on? It's hours.
I left my brother's Game Boy Color at a hotel in Wisconsin Dells when we were like 10. Sorry, Tyler.
Sad days. Yeah, I would always get like my cousins would always get the latest Game Boy whatevers, and then they would just give me all their like previous hand-me-downs. So I was rocking the Game Boy Color while everybody was like Nintendo DSs, and then I finally got like the Game Boy Advance, and then I was like, oh my gosh, and then I got the Nintendo DS, and I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of moved on because I realized that I could play games on the computer and stuff, and life was much better at that point.
Gotcha.
All right, are you gonna do anything this weekend at all, Jaymee, for Cinco de Mayo or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I'm probably going to make tacos and guac and homemade margaritas tomorrow. I work on Saturday and then going home to hang out with my mom on Sunday.
Mama.
Mama.
What up, Mama? You gonna see Karen at all?
I'm sure I'll run into one.
Right, there's always a Karen in Sheboygan. Karen from Sheboygan's on line 3. Let's go to her. Jeff says millennials reminiscing about their childhood. Listen, Jeff, we all couldn't play Pong or whatever you played back in the day on your
Tetris
on
and
Atari or whatever it was. Like some of those Atari games were phenomenal. Okay, I'm not even gonna hate on the Atari games, but Nintendo. Your Abbott also says I own a regular Nintendo with a Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. I know a lot of people were the duck hunters back in the day.
Yeah.
That cheeky little dog that would pop
Cute
up.
little thing.
Like, hey, go catch your ducks as you pop them out of the air. Josh also says Pac-Man. Like, there's so many good games out there. I feel like we need a video game show. I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna file the paperwork. I'm gonna make it happen. I know a guy. I don't know. Maybe I don't. We'll find out. Like the thing, like I'm not like a nerd about any of these things, but like I just know about them and I've experienced them all at least once. So I love it.
Video games, you're saying?
Yes, for video games, I'm saying. Like I don't know all the super crazy up, down, right, triangle, square, backspace, dab on them, kind of like hacks, but
Codes or whatever.
codes
yeah.
or cheat codes.
Cheat
yeah.
codes, that's the word.
I feel like cheat codes take away so much though from a game.
Depends, right? Like in
Are you
Grand
a cheat
Theft
code kind of
Auto-
girl?
Yeah, in Grand Theft Auto, you get like an airplane or whatever. In Sims, you could just get a lot of money. Yeah.
You're about that money. I get it. Airplanes and money. That's Jamie's
That's
goal.
why I don't have a boyfriend. Never met anyone with an airplane.
Too busy researching cheat codes to get a helicopter or whatever.
Oh, boy.
What else do you want to talk about, Jaymee? Anything else you want to talk about?
Did you see, who was it? Now I can't think. He got his tooth knocked out. From
Isaiah
Boston.
Thomas.
Yes. He's got a tooth put back in. I don't blame him. Everyone was heckling him for checking it out before their game. If I had a pearly new tooth, I'd look at it.
You ever lost a tooth? Like,
On accident?
Yeah.
Like a tooth that I wasn't supposed to lose?
right. No?
Have you?
No?
We were actually just talking about this at work yesterday. About like if you lose a tooth, can you just like stick it back up in there? And I was like, no, it's bone. You'd have to like put a bracket and like all that stuff, but you can.
What, you can?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
It's
But
just
it's
gonna,
more
like-
common in children, and it should only be done with adult teeth. So like usually when you're an adult, then they'll just like cap it.
Wow. I had no idea.
Me either. Until I looked it up.
The more you know. How interesting. No, I had no idea about that, honestly. I mean, that's the interesting thing when it comes to teeth as a whole is that, I mean, when people get their tooth knocked out, they have to get, like, the fillers or whatever. Like, that's why people that work in dentistry are phenomenally rich because people need their teeth. People want to look good. Their smile is everything.
Right. Teeth is such a big thing.
It's true. So, I mean, and obviously it didn't affect him last night. The Celtics won their game against the Wizards, scoring in triple digits. So good for the Celtics to keep that series rolling on. So we'll have to see what happens with that one.
Rolling on.
I know the NHL playoffs, of course, are still rolling as well too.
Yep.
Any couple of thoughts about that, especially after Nashville takes a 3-1 lead, or any of the other series quickly?
I was excited to see that the Rangers are putting up a little bit more of a fight. They finally won against Ottawa yesterday. Obviously, everyone knows I'm excited about the Preds. Probably sick of hearing about it.
Not at
but
all.
I am not.
You're not sick of hearing about it?
Nope. I'll listen to myself talk about the Preds all day. Penguins Caps, that'll be interesting to see how that plans out. Game 4, obviously. Good luck to them. And then the Ducks and the Oilers. Oilers probably can take it. But
Probs, Connor make sexy.
Baby. yeah, that's all I got.
Fair enough. All right, well, we should probably get out of here then. Special thanks to Keith Haney and Dara Bittler for swinging by the program this morning. We definitely have had lots of response to if Mario Kart is the greatest game of all time. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping more people were going to tell us how you should celebrate if Nashville wins the Stanley Cup. That was one of our questions of the day today. Nobody really gave us any good ideas.
Well, if they do, oh, God. We were talking about this at work, too, about what I was saying with, like, some of the other girls about, like, going down there.
Right.
Like, do you go down, do you take off work and, like, go down, like, game 5, 6, 7? Do you just...
I mean, they're up 3-1 now, so, like...
Right, so then would you just go in hopes that they would take it in 5, but then you'd have to go back for 6.
But then you put too much...
7, and then...
Right.
Who has that much vacation? And then I'm just hoping work will take us because that would be cool. I'll pay for it. Just bring me there.
Seriously.
But we'll see.
Hmm.
So I'll be hungover. So be prepared for that.
A lot of that depends on the team they have to face, though, as well. In the
yeah,
finals.
if it's like but
you're not gonna fly from Nashville to Edmonton or whoever, right? To watch that, right? They would have to.
No, but it could still be in Nashville. Like, you know what I mean?
You go for just the Nashville games, is what you're saying, right?
Because obviously, like Anaheim, if they play them next round, or the Oilers, like not
True.
gonna make it to an away game. New York could happen. Pittsburgh could happen.
That's general vicinity.
Washington,
Not terrible.
Maybe Ottawa. No.
I heard it's beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted if I decide to make another run.
I like it.
Hopefully I will. Fingers crossed.
Still got to get through this first series, and we'll move on to the next one. Phenomenal. All right, Jaymee, this has been fun. Appreciate all of you hanging out this morning with us as well. Special thanks to Keith Haney and Dara Bittler as well, too, for swinging by the program. Remember, all of our Brew Sports content is on our website, brewsportsnet.com. You can go and find us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Spreaker.com, on iTunes as well. For those of you that are pod lovers, go check out the podcasts that we've got rolling over there as well, too. You can find Jaymee on Twitter at Jaymee_Evers. I am at Baxter Colburn, Brew Sportsnet, at Brew Sportsnet on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun business. Halftime with myself and Tanner Burke is coming up next at 11 a.m. Central Time, so make sure you swing by today. It is off the rails. Lord knows what we're going to do today. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm a little terrified, especially when Tanner doesn't tell me what's going to happen. So thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the views. We'll see you guys next time on The Morning Brew. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.